Nonso is a black guy from London, right? He talks normally, but Coach Greg's putting on this. Okay, I'm gonna say this ooga booga accent.
How in the frigging Turk do you think that that's racist? You can say whatever you want, but stop bringing and pulling out the race card. Coach Greg, in today's video, we've lost another one. I want to point something out to start off this video. I am not racist. Just because the accused is banned from the IPF happens to be black, it doesn't mean I'm a freaking racist. The last person I pointed out was Nonso Chinese, Nonso.fitness. He didn't fail to show up for drug test once, nor twice. Hey, maybe it was an accident. It was 3 times, and so they banned him. And so I made a video. I called him out. And in that video, I made fun of his delivery. You know, the lack of emotions, the lack of empathy, the robot delivery. And so I copied him.
This isn't going to be a positive video, but I'd really appreciate if you guys hung around, as I want to be upfront and honest.
Me swear was the first draft. Me no did steroids. Me no did nothing wrong. Me 100% natural. Me no have emotions. Me no have feelings. Me robot. Me deliver speech. Me sorry, not sorry. Did not do steroids. Me natural. Do you get it? How in the frigging Turk do you think that that's racist? You think I'm making this shit up? Well, watch this friggin' video. And, oh, by the way, his friend, Joey Shaw, that's right, he's also from Great Britain. Friends with Nojo.fitness. They've done videos together, collaborating, trying to see which of the two is stronger. And both, well, they're 100% natural, right? Well, Joey Shaw just got banned from the IPF for the exact same reason. Failed to show up for 3 consecutive tests. You're trying to convince me to make a natty or not video on a guy who failed to get tested 3 consecutive times, and I'm supposed to think that you're natural? That's the exact same thing that happened to Nojo.fitness. How dare you call me racist? What is with these excuses? If it had been a female, they would have said I'm a misogynist. If it would have been someone who's Chinese, oh, Coach Greg, he doesn't like China. Guys, I report videos. I don't have any skin in the game. I don't care if they're white, black, tall, short, trans, gay. I don't care. I report the news.
He starts the video off by doing this horrendous impersonation of Nonso that I'm not going to call racist, but I'm going to call it ignorant, all right?
And so do you know who I'm actually thinking of as I'm copying all of this? A white guy. A man who believes that anything that's unhealthy is bad.
Trying to avoid processed sugar.
As you should.
I love the sun.
Good. The sun is an antidepressant.
I try and be in the sun as much as possible.
We need more of that in a world of dysregulated hormones.
Sugar for breakfast. Atrocious. I was copying him. I suck at his impression. I'm trying to copy him. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not lying, and I'm certainly not a freaking bloody racist.
It was so ignorant the way he did this, because to some people might be like, oh, this was a joke, but it didn't make sense. I'm all for jokes, but the joke has to make sense.
The joke makes sense. I'm imitating Nonso, who's explaining himself as being 100% natural with no emotions whatsoever. He's not. Guys, I blew it. I didn't show up to 3 consecutive tests. That's on me.
And this is a mistake made through administrative negligence.
I did not write proper message. I did not show up. I failed to. He's speaking like a freaking bloody robot. It's not racist.
Nonso is a black guy from London, right? He talks normally.
You think I give 2 shits about him being black or white from London, Canada, or Japan? I don't care.
But Coach Greg's putting on this. Okay, I'm gonna say this ooga booga accent.
Ooga booga accent. How dare you call me racist?
That I don't even know where it's from. Maybe it's Jamaican. I don't know what he's talking about.
It's not from Jamaica. It's copying a guy that makes fun of people for eating unhealthy food.
Wear sunscreen.
Avoiding toxic chemicals, optimal.
I drink a lot of water.
Hopefully not contaminated tap water.
Suboptimal. Not good. Do not do this.
You go in his comments. Bear man being racist.
Did I write that comment? Did I mention race in the slightest during that video? It has nothing to do with being black. I don't think there's any correlation whatsoever. If anything, you'd assume there's more blacks who are natural than whites. Do we not say, and oftentimes in videos, that people who are black actually have better genetics for bodybuilding and so on? How am I racist? The most racist thing I've ever said is that C-Bum is a black natural athlete. And clearly, it's a joke. He's not black.
And then obviously beyond that, talking about how he says email and stuff like that.
And so this black guy from London who talks normally, if you want to show the original footage of me trying to figure out what in the Turk is an emod?
I was then emoed again.
What the Turk's an emod? Is it email? I've heard this 16 times. I've emod again, emod again, emod again. Email. I'm hoping it's email. I'm hoping it's not emod means some kind of other thing. Maybe there's a new technology you're emodded. I had no idea, and I'm not making this shit up, and I don't think it's because I had brain damage in an accident that I don't understand what an emod was. I'm thinking it's Gen Z, it's a new term, perhaps it's something maxing, emod, I don't know. And so you're telling me that is racist? To not understand the way that somebody speaks is different from my own?
And as a black guy in this industry, right, there is no reason for a video to be about a natty or not, and then guys making it about your race.
Did I make it about his race? I mean, the nerve of this guy to think it's about his race. Has he not seen me do countless videos on many athletes, white or black, female? I don't care. I've done them not only about bodybuilders, done them on powerlifters as well. There was a female. It was perhaps a year ago. She was bench pressing perhaps 285 pounds, and suddenly she could only bench press 225 pounds with an illegal arch where their butt was coming off the bench. She'd lost about 20 pounds of muscle, and I said, she's a fake natty. And the world came and screamed, oh, you're a misogynist, you're a hater. Why? For pointing out the obvious? You don't lose 60 pounds off your bench press without, for example, being on steroids and then stopping. What do you think makes more sense? And imagine if Hussein Farhat missed 3 consecutive drug tests. You all think he's a fake natty right now, despite the fact he's had 4 blood work tests. Passed with flying colors. 4 in a row. Oh no, he can't be natural. So what do I say? You're racist against Hussein? It's not about his race. You can say whatever you want, but stop bringing and pulling out the race card. And so Joey Shaw, after receiving 2 failed notices, remember, 3 strikes, you're out, and one of his friends has gone through the exact same thing. I mean, what are these guys in a bromance? What is the excuse? What is going on in Great Britain? Why is it that the best powerlifters in the world, all from Great Britain, are continuously not showing up for their blood work?
Adam's testing. Open the door, please.
Act natural, just breathe, you got this.
Are they being told, hey, they're going to test you on this day? Make sure you're not available. Don't show up. Give yourself some time to cycle off. And then later, when they come test you, in a couple of months, well, by then, you'll be able to pass. Is it possible that that's what's going on?
Here's an idea. If an athlete fails a test by way of a whereabouts violation, continue to give them strikes until they do the test.
And so do you know how tough this is on me to try to prove that these guys are in fact natural? The evidence is overwhelmingly negative. And so to Nonso, I said, look, you get your blood work done right away. I'll be able to look at it and see if you're natty or not, at least in the several months prior. I reached out. I tried to get Al Gorex to do their blood work, but they weren't available in New York. And so he was able to get some through the help of Goop. And I've been waiting patiently for this blood work. Remember, it's been a couple weeks. Not sure how long it's taking. Normally in a few days, I'm able to get blood work, but I'm waiting. Joey Shaw, he's also going to have to do the same. I think he's a fake natty. He skipped out 3 of these tests. He has the physique of a fake natty. He's stronger than most people on performance-enhancing drugs. And he failed to show up to the test 3 consecutive times. I mean, what do you think is going on?
I think we need to start holding two groups of people accountable. We need to start holding creators accountable. You need to be holding your audience accountable for the shit they're doing in your comments.
So I have to now hold myself and the entirety of my 2.4 million followers accountable. And so I can't make any natty or not videos. If they're black, it's off limits. Female, nope. I can only talk about Caucasian males because other than that, I'm racist or I'm misogynist or I'm just a bad guy.
If it feels like a safe space for people to do shit like that, then they're going to do it more.
How am I accountable for 2.4 million people? You tell me how I do that. And so if somebody in my comments says something bad, out of 2.4 million people, do you not think there's 0.01% of them, perhaps several thousands, who are a bunch of idiots, low IQs, morons, degenerates, and I'm somehow responsible for all those people. Most people can't even be responsible for their own children. If parents raised their children right, they wouldn't be writing these comments. Do you see me writing these comments? My parents raised me right. Sure, I make call-out videos. I say some strong statements. I call people fat pieces of shit. But that is not racist. I am not responsible for what all of you guys are saying or doing with your life. I'm trying to make a difference. I'm trying to influence, trying to do the right thing. But if you don't listen to me, what am I supposed to do? I never said to anyone that they should be racist. I'm not. I'm leading by example.
Obviously, we need to hold the people accountable as well, because we can't have people like this in our industry and in our community, all right?
And so I did discuss this in private with Nonso after explaining my actions, that I was imitating a white person who speaks like a robot, that I was talking about the delivery of his message, that it seemed to be without emotions. I explained everything. I said, look, I have to assume you're not natural if you do not show up to 3 consecutive tests. He said, I will take the test. I said, okay, you get your blood work done. You send it to me. If you pass, I will make a video saying, I think bro is actually natural after all. He's just an idiot, a moron, and didn't show up to 3 consecutive tests. But until that time, we don't have the evidence to say otherwise. Joey Shaw being added to the list of guys banned in the IPF for failing to show up to 3 consecutive drug tests, it's not looking good. He's stronger than last time, very impressive, but also is banned in the IPF for 2 years. It's not looking good. I mean, looking at his physique, if I were to say, oh, clearly natural, that would be an insult. This is an impressive physique, even with steroids. And his strength, even with steroids, 999 people out of 1,000 are not lifting these weights, even with steroids. And so if he is in fact natural, it's mind-blowing. It is, in fact, that impressive. It's more rare than being 1 in a million. Unfortunately, like an idiot, he failed to show up for the drug test 3 consecutive times. Now, in saying that and recognizing that the skin color on his body is black, I'm not saying he's an idiot because he's black. I'm saying he's an idiot because he's an idiot. And so if you show up to work 3 days in a row after being warned 2 consecutive times and told the 3rd strike and you're out, it's on you. I don't care what excuse you have. Oh, you wrote down your address incorrectly. You wrote down your phone number incorrectly. You didn't give the correct email. You spelt your name wrong. You did that on purpose. At this point, how could you not? When your career, your image, your brand being 100% natural, one of the strongest men in the world, when it revolves around proving that you're natural and you're given 3 chances to prove it and you don't, am I racist for saying, I don't believe you? You can say I'm an asshole, that I should believe you, that you don't like me, but I'm not racist. I don't give a shit if you're Casper the Friendly Ghost or the freaking Grim Reaper. I don't care what color you are. I'm calling you out. You're a fake natty.
When we have athletes on the international scene with followings like they do, acting like this, it takes away from everything else that British powerlifting is doing for its members and for the sport.
People are trying to excuse their behaviour and be like, oh, they're just kids, they don't know what they're doing. If I was a 20-something-year-old guy and people were excusing my behaviour because I'm just a kid and I got nervous, I'd genuinely crash out.
And so he's a fellow powerlifter and he's calling them out. You think that's excusable? You're a kid? You're just too young to know better? 24? What is going on in 2026 where people think that 24-year-olds are just a couple kids? You know, they just made a mistake 3 consecutive times. Pick up the damn phone. It's on you. Now, the difference between Nonso and Joey is at least Nonso had the balls to make a video trying to explain it. He at least took some ownership. What about Joey Shaw? Gonna pretend that none of this has happened until I make a video? And then what's gonna happen? Is he also going to play the race card? And so that's why I brought this up. In advance, proactively, making sure you realize I have nothing against people who are black. I don't give a shit. But if you fail a test, and my channel is fairly famous for doing natty or nots, if you're literally banned by your organization, it's kind of an easy video to do. Now, isn't it? And so do you know how to cure racism? Prevent all these drug failures or failing to show up? You get on Turk Builder Max. Do you realize how easy it would be to show up to these drug tests? Hey, I'm only on Turk. It's not banned by WADA. It's on the watch list, but it's not banned. It's going to improve my performance. You all win because you're all unemployed. You can use code unemployed for 20% off. The rest of you can use code Greg. And you get to use this product, which has been proven to be actual Ajuga from Uzbekistan. Unlike all the other copycats, they're selling you a scheme, a scam. They're copying my product, but putting in fake products. We've tested it. I already posted the video. Over 100,000 views. You've seen a video. we've been vindicated. And so if you're interested in the best natural supplement in the world, you got to go to HDLT Supplements, code Greg or code unemployed for 15 to 20% off. Imagine being a power lifter and not using the Turk Builder Max. It makes no sense. I mean, if you're a teenager, you're a beginner, I get it, you don't need it yet. But if you're trying to be the best in the world and you're not taking this, or if you do cardio, for example, you're racing bikes, running, jogging, and so on, and you're trying to burn fat, and you're not on GO2 max, why? Like, how does that make sense? Or you have low levels of testosterone and you haven't tried G-Test Platinum? Like, what is wrong with you? Before going to Algorex, of which you can get your blood work done and purchase, for example, enclomiphene or the various peptides, GLPs, all these different things, prescribed by doctors, not some sketchy site, pharmaceutical, from compounding pharmacies, Algorex, code Greg, 10% off. At least try this product first. And if you're hungry, GLP Max, try this first. 28% reduction in hunger. And so if you understand the benefits of all these supplements and that we do product testing, we're not selling you a scheme, a scam. We're not trying to rip you off. It's going to meet label claim. Remember, if you try the product, it's literally a money back guarantee. And on top of that, a $50 gift card. Who else is doing that? 0 companies are giving you money back plus a $50 bonus. And so why are you not trying it? Guaranteed products of the top quality. And so click the link in description, subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you like it. Don't forget to watch one of those 2 boops to get sponsored. Click the link if you want to get coached by myself and my team. Click the link. And if you want to carry the products, the supplements, the Blue Lobster in your stores, get to the website, click the link. And until next time, I am out.